Guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do Gun Honey, Blood for Blood, issue number 1 by Titan Comics. This is the second volume of the Gun Honey installment. I really enjoyed the first volume. There's 4 issues. I reviewed it on my channel, so check that out and subscribe to my channel as well, Dark Science Comics. Leave a like and all that jazz. You know what I mean. And we continue the story here. So what is Gun Honey? Well, it's more like a name for Joanna Tan. She is a weapon handler expert. Like I said, check out my first couple of my volume 1 review for the whole story. What we continue in here. Covered by Adam Hughes. I love it. And we dive in. So we go somewhere in Montana. And there is a big mansion here. And I must say right off the bat, before I forget, it's written by Charles Arday and artist Ang Horn Kang. They are both also involved in the first volume. That's why I'm very happy to pick this up because it's the same artist, it's the same writer, so I know I'm in for a treat. So we see this mysterious figure, who is clearly a woman, taking out a gun off the bag, and she has been, breaking into this mansion. And little bit of a spoiler, the owner of this mansion is, we come back a little bit about his dead, but she killed him, and now she is wants to leave a weapon behind. And this guy says, "That's some gun, honey." That's a pun here. She is escaping, and barely, and we see this is a blonde woman. But first wait a minute, isn't this Joanna Tan? Because Joanna Tan was a dark-haired woman. She is doing all this. Now, why is this woman leaving a gun behind? There's a reason for that. I'm not going to explain it all. Check out my videos. It's going to be clear if you watch all of those. And do not forget to like it. So, meanwhile, we are meeting with our buddy called... I'm forgetting everything immediately. Anyway, this is a friend of Joanna. He's looking for her in Malaysia, and he is now meeting up with her. Now, I wanted to, but before we do that, we see that Joanna is laying her brother to rest in this urn besides her mother, and, having a closing moment, if you will. Now, I tried to remember the names of this guy, and I'm angry at myself that forget the name. It's Brooke, I believe. Yes, Brooke. So this blonde guy's name is Brooke, and I wanted to show you the next page, but there's a lot of nudity in here. So Joanna is lying on a bed or a chair or some lounge thing with toys, if you know what I mean, and booze and books and her cat. She is enjoying herself. And so Brooke comes in and says, "Hey, how you doing? It's been 7 months." And she says, "Well, I'm off the grid. I'm having a 7-month vacation. I have no boss. I can do whatever I want." And but now I'm showing it anyway. That's not what I want. Sorry, it's just I'm getting struck. Oh, God, I messed up. I wanted you to get this page, and oh man. Anyway, let's move on. You can pause the video. So Brooke says, "Hey, I'm here because I have information." He says, "You haven't been in Montana lately, have you?" She says, "Montana? Well, someone is using your MO, broke into the home of a man called Michael Leonard, who's dead. An information broker, one of our longtime resources. So yeah, he's a snitch, and she left that behind." And Joanna says, "So she's not good at a job, is she? Unless she wanted to be found and you to be blamed. Brooke, I know the man who made the gun. His name is Saeed in Johor, 90 minutes from here." So basically, then there is a small recap here. Because she says, "Who is she?" Well, that's the thing. I'm not sure. He's a cop, by the way. But if it's, I think who it is, I can't trust anyone in my organization to go after her. And so he says, "Philippa Sterling, Director Morse's brightest protege. She was there watching when your brother shot her. So, okay, executed her for what she did to our family, Joanna says. So that is in the last issue. So this is a continuation. She quit the agency a week later, and no one has seen her since Lydia's funeral. Okay. So he says, well, she doesn't. He wasn't some kind of a snitch talking about that guy's been shot, and she doesn't break in. She just also killed him. And so they go to from Malaysia to what is this place? Anyway, well, they jump from I believe country to country or to place. Well, we can check it out. What is this? Just give me a second. I'm finding it. Oh yeah, they're from Malaysia to Milan and from Montana to Monaco. I'm just reading the premise right now. So okay, so they are here, and so Brooke says, "Hey, who is this guy that you are meeting up? He's some shady guy, some off the grid weapons maker, and then he's none other than a I don't know a craftsman for film production. So he makes props. He's just a nice guy." And they know each other, and he says, "Hey, do you recognize this gun?" She says, "Because well, it's part of an identical gun from the set. I sold them to a collector. Must have been 6 months ago." He says, "Was it a woman, my height, blonde hair, American?" "No idea. We handed it all online." "By the way, who are you?" "Joanna, is he something special?" "Someone I trust. That's special enough." Okay. So she asked for the address, etc. And she says, "All I got is shipping address." And then Brooke says, "Get down." And then poor Saeed is killed by a spear through the throat. It's just awesome looking. And so Joanna is shooting a gun. And she says, "Hey, you stay behind and call an ambulance. She's mine." Cool, right? More action. So they go into this film studio. It's this fake Conan Barbarian, He-Man rip-off she's bumping into. "Hey, this is a closed film set. We're filming here." And Brooke says, "Well, an ambulance. He's dead before he hit Joanna's arms. There is no helping him anymore, but he might still be able to help." So, and then we move to this fantastic-looking shot where Joanna is running in the background, and these guys are doing, I don't know, Conan the Barbarian, wizard demon stuff, and with beautiful half-naked women, and these guys shooting at the film sets. Just great. I mean, I'm telling you guys every time that immersion and backgrounds, the details and the backgrounds matter because of the immersion, because of this. I mean, what is it? Okay, you can say, "Hey, it's a cool action scene," but if there's only neon flashlights in the background and that's it, there's nothing to be immersed in. This is what we mean. So this guy or whatever, this perpetrator is throwing a rock. She doing the kung fu flip. This guy says, "Hey, take this," and then she's ramming into this I don't know ladder, and he falls down while the camera is still going, and it looks freaking awesome. And but this is a guy and not a blonde woman. So she says, "Who the hell are you, and who paid you to shoot Saeed?" But then the cops come, and they are just going away, and says, "Nothing, no, not a word. But he's not Philippa Sterling, that's for sure. But that doesn't mean she wasn't behind it. Philippa's a chess player," he says. "She's not shy about sacrificing a pawn." Sounds just like your old boss. Anyway, so they said, "I found South Dakota's shipping address in Saeed's papers. It's a stone's throw from Montana's border, basically, so they are going there, where your snitch got killed. With Saeed's gun left behind to incriminate you. There's got to be a connection. Someone who used both Leonard for information and Saeed for guns. I thought she bought the guns from Saeed to incriminate me. Remember, chess plays, you think 3 moves ahead and never does anything for just one reason. There's got to be a connection." Then we switch to a new player here. Now, who this is? Not sure yet, but he has a daughter, and the daughter wants to spend some time with him, but she says, "Hey, I got no time because business." And they talk about debt. "Are you sure?" "Yes, sir. Shot to death outside of his shop. Happened yesterday." Okay, so there's something going on here. And then she's a bit pissed off that her daddy is not giving her the attention that she wants. And then we go back, and there is a story here. So it seems that the new player in town is Alberto Giancaruso. I probably butchered that name, but it sounds cool from my perspective, of course. So and she says the pharmaceutical guy, isn't he funding cures for river blindness or whatever it is? So it seems that there's these guys called Bert and Ernie. And she says the Muppet Show. Now, well, it seems that how do I say it again? Giancaruso. Let me retry that again. Giancaruso and this guy Brighton, Ernest Brighton, they called themselves Bert and Ernie, and they were drug suppliers in every major rave in the years leading up to Y2K. And I know this how, she says, I was 7 in the 2000 and you were 11. You were going to raves, and she says I was 15, and the last rave made headlines. Ernie cooked up some turbocharged version of ecstasy. Bert just did the sales, claimed he had no idea what Ernie was done. 47 people died. How did he get that from curing river blindness? An excellent PR firm, millions donated to charity. Meanwhile, Ernie's still on the run, somewhere out there. So they figured out that, I don't know, Ernie is holding a grudge against Bert because, well, he's still on the run. Well, his ex-partner is collecting humanitarian awards in Milan. And then, so we see this daughter. And I mean, the art, look at this art. This looks so freaking cool. Jesus Christ. Backgrounds matter. I cannot say it enough. I cannot stress that enough. Backgrounds matter. Sorry, guys. Backgrounds matter, right? So she says, what happened to Mara? She came down with something. I'm subbing for her. So this is the blonde girl. You can figure that out. And she's training this young woman. And then she's, getting the gun with the gloves on. And then we don't see what happens. And then they take in a helicopter. So they go to the place and doing some investigating stuff. So this, like I said, this is a more James Bond's crime action comic. Looks pretty cool. And the writing is very sharp. And so Joanna says, so what? Sterling quits your agency and goes to Ernie, offers to settle his old score for a fee, and gets to settle her own score with you at the same time for getting your brother the gun he used to kill Lydia, her mentor. So who's next on the list? Someone even closer to Alberto, someone he needs or someone he loves. Well, you can figure out who that is. So she's jumping down, and but I said the art was fantastic. But then I saw this moon. Come on, what is this dribble piss of a moon? Come on, the art is so good, and you make this, I don't know, sketch, pencils, real quick in 2 seconds. Come on, and then we go to here. Like I said, it's just gorgeous. So she breaks in, and then is the narrative, and the narrative says, Joanna, you make it too easy, and you were supposed to be the best. You killed one of his loyal security guards. Oh, he'll be mad at you for that, Joanna. So very mad until he sees what else you do. It's crazy. Okay, nakedness. Why you have to go and kill his daughter, Joanna? And with a gun identical to the one that you used in Montana. One you fired just yesterday in Johar. They don't find prints on the gun, not after it's been washed clean like this, but they found powder, residue in your hands, won't they? You're going to pay, Joanna. You're going to suffer. And then you're going to die. This is just great stuff. It's just great. It's freaking awesome. And then we have an interview with the guys, and I'm glad they are doing this. The art looks great. The quality of the books is fantastic. Well, I'm exaggerating a little bit. The quality is great. It's good. Paper stock is nice. And then we have all the covers of this first one. And more into the next issues and more of, hard case books. I strongly recommend it if you are into, gritty, nitty, hardcore, gun violence and detective. Well, can you call it detective? Well, there's some detective here, but it's crime comics, but then really good. And well, the beautiful looking Joanna sells the book also. Yeah. Okay. Let's go into the next issue next time, guys. So stick around. Let me know what you think about this comic, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.